Alright class, welcome to week 9. And so I just want to say that I realize I haven't been able to grade everyone's exams yet and some of the papers on Persia. I got behind on those for various sets of reasons, and then I graded others ahead. Sometimes I had a lot of things happen this week that got me distracted and didn't give me time to grade the way I wanted to. And so when I'm getting behind, what I'll do is I'll grade what's easiest for me to grade as opposed to what is closer. In other words, video notes are easier for me to look at and grade, or discussions, and sometimes papers, especially if I'm seeing some issues that I want to address to some of you. And to be honest, I got a little behind because I started seeing a little bit of I did see some issues that I wanted to address in the papers. Now, I've been writing notes to some of you, and I'm asking some of you to call me. And I don't want you to feel bad about this. And there's been some students that maybe I've written to quite often. I just want to make this very clear. I've told you this time and time again, I'm pretty sure, and if I haven't, excuse me, for the whole class, I struggled with writing my whole life. And that was a big issue for me in grad school even. Many of my professors thought very highly of me when I talked to them. They knew that I was engaged with the material. I participated great in discussions. But then when it came to the time to write, I was a disaster, to be honest. I mean, I was a disaster. And now I look back and I can see so clearly why I was a disaster. It took me until like literally the end of grad school to see why I was having such a problem with my writing. And it's a little bit frustrating. I shouldn't have took that long. And so I guess what I'm saying is that, you know, I give you guys assignments that I'm deliberately not grading you on writing, but on content. At the same time, I want you to realize that I need to address some things for you when I'm seeing writing really, like when I know that what's expected in college and that you're having a struggle with that. Now, many of you are simply having a problem because you're busy. And then others are maybe just having a problem with writing. So I don't want you to take it personal. I want to just make sure this is a constructive criticism. And I want everybody to remember that I'm looking for content. This is what I'm really looking for. Okay? When I look at the papers, I do look at all your papers. I might not leave a lot of comments. Usually I've read most of them. And I'm looking, I'm kind of what would be called mining the text. I know what I said, I know what's in the textbook, and I look down and I'm trying to say, okay, do I see material here that sounds familiar to me, since I'm the one who's, you know, I've been speaking and giving you reading assignments and documentaries to watch, okay? So, you know, and this is a good skill for you to have, okay? So, while I'm not grading as hard as I could be, I do need some of you to talk to me, because some of you I'm seeing are really really struggling. And, you know, you won't be curious to that. I'll be contacting you about that, and I'll be addressing why. And what I'm trying to encourage everyone to do is just, you know, to again see this as a helpfulness. Okay. If most of you here understood how much I struggled in my life, how much of a mess up I was in school, I hope you'd find that inspiring. I mean, I had to go to Elliott High School, the continuation high school in Modesto, through the home studies program, just to catch up because I was so far behind. And you know, I mean, by the time I got to be a senior in high school, I was just barely caught up. And I didn't go back to college until my daughter was born, and I was working at a coffee shop. I might have told all of you this before. But, so, I sympathize with so many situations, and yet, it's also my job to help you be further ahead of the game than I've been. Okay, so, enough of that. Last thing to say, we're going into an interesting topic this week, but some of you are going to have a hard time with this. only because I'm talking about a subject that is familiar to many of you in this area, which is the topic of Christianity and the evolution of the creation of the Bible. But I really hope that you get excited about this, because if you're a believer or not a believer, I feel like I really fill in a lot of gaps that many people are curious about and never have the opportunity to learn about. For so much of my life, I was curious. Well, how did the Bible get to be the way it is, and how did it form to the way that it did? Why do Catholics have some books in their Bible that Protestants don't have? And so I hope that I kind of clarify that for you. And I just want to say that much of the information that I'm going to discuss is something that any educated Christian, rather they're Catholic or Protestant in different branches, would be exposed to. So it's not that it's so controversial as much as it's shocking to many who are not religious. To many who never had a really strong historical discussion of Christianity. I want those of you to know who are not Christian that much of this information that I'm going to teach and this week is not something that most Christians would be familiar with. Because, and this goes like I've talked about with other religions, people go to church, the synagogue, to the mosque, to pray, to get spiritual insight. You don't go there to get a history lesson, that's for the most part, like you're getting in my class. And so, for educated people that study their own religion, yes, they take their own, history of their religion, of Islam, Judaism, Christianity, and so forth. So you got what I'm saying. So I hope you enjoy it. I canceled a assignment. I remembered how much people struggled with this one last time I taught it, and I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a break and just focus on the lectures. I think you'll enjoy some of the documentary clips like I have on the Celts. I'm going over the Vikings also. So anyhow, if you have any questions, give me a call. I'm also having last minute some family complications. I might have to go. I might be a little distracted this week, but I'm going to do my best to stay focused and be able to contact everyone as need be. Okay? Have a good week, and we'll be in touch.